It's the Chin Checkers podcast, all about the fight game with Mr. Get That Work and Hawk Von Dame. Grab your device of choice and tune in. You'll never know what topics gonna get it on the chin. Boxing, MMA, UFC as well. They discuss who got the win, who took the L, who won the belt, who pound for pound, who fell, who ready for war, who got next. Ring the bell.
Yo, what's good, babe?
What up, man? This is a special Father's Day episode.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, man.
I know Chavez Sr. was looking at Chavez Jr. like, yo, on Father's Day? This is what you give me on Father's Day?
Yeah, it's sad, man. It's sad. I had put out there, man, like, I think it was on Twitter, like, yo, he needs to never pick up a pair of gloves again. Like boxing, MMA, baseball gloves, mittens, like nothing. Just no. All gloves is off limits to this man. All gloves.
You said he was adopted.
Yeah. Yo, he's not from him, so it can't be. So you just let some old dude from another combat sport. And granted, you know, Anderson Silva, he's a beast, but bro, this is your field, man. This is your field. So, but he needs to like never pick up a pair of gloves, man. It's sad.
For me, I kind of knew Anderson was gonna win. Man, I knew he was gonna win. I thought he would look a little more impressive. He did win though. He clearly won.
You didn't think he looked impressive enough?
Well, I thought he would win by knockout. To me, Anderson.
Wow.
I thought Anderson Silva is the greatest MMA fighter in my eyes.
Right.
That's my personal preference. I loved watching him. Even when he got a bit older, I just felt that he was like the Roy Jones of MMA.
Mm.
So I figured that power would somewhat translate over, but nah, it didn't. I had him winning by knockout. I had knockouts all across the board the whole night.
I didn't think it would have been a knockout, but I mean he had enough power because I mean. Yeah, you know, Chavez is, you know, he's fair-skinned, but he lit his face up.
Yeah,
he was marked up.
He did.
He was marked up.
The knockout though.
Yeah.
I'm just spoiled. That's all.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing for Chavez Sr. that he didn't see that because I was worried that, you know, for Chavez Sr. fighting last, seeing his two sons go up, you know, before him. I told you that. I wanted him to fight before Junior.
Yeah.
But you know, it still didn't affect his performance. Maybe he felt like, now I got to go out there and perform extra because, you know, these two guys over here. So it was left to me.
They shit the bed. So let's show him with this Mexican DNA is really like.
Yeah.
Yo, how is he 58? But he looked more in shape and better than Camacho Jr. How is that possible? While I'm watching the fight, I started looking in the mirror and going, bro,
get my shit together over
here. Yeah,
man. Yo.
I started flexing in the mirror like, damn, man.
Nah, you're right, though. You're right, man. Macho came in there with like a balloon stomach, you know what I'm saying? But he looked confident though. Like, you know, he still had the swag, you know what I'm saying? He still had the swag. Can't take that from him. You know, he had the swag, but you know, he definitely felt like he was good.
The meanest entrance walk ever.
Yeah.
You thought he was doing a rap video or not a rap video, a reggaeton video, and you thought he was gonna bring it.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
I mean, you know, he hit him with some decent counter power shots, which that should have happened because, you know, this guy's much older. But he still got outworked.
Hold on. You didn't think he got hurt the last minute?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
It looked like I was pissed because I thought it was more rounds. I was like, yo, Chavez is actually gonna stop him with a body shot.
Yeah, it was looking like the body shots was killing him.
Rubbing his gut.
The body shots was killing him, man. He looked like Mike Tyson knockout. You know what I'm saying? The big fat dude, the big dude with the fucking band-aid on the fucking stomach. That's what he looked like.
King Hippo.
Yeah. That's what he looked like, man. But nah, yeah, that body work was rough for him. You started to see it. That body work was rough for him. And Chavez really looked like, yo, he wanted that smoke, man. He ripped off the headgear, like, yo, come on, man. He was ready to go, man.
Yo,
he was ready to go.
I liked the event. I thought it was dope, man. Well, he saved the event. Yo, Logan Paul needs to watch that fight, that event, and take notes. That's how your exhibition is supposed to look. Matter of fact, Chavez should fight Logan Paul next. Nah.
Oh man,
I'm joking.
I mean, hey, we never know what's gonna happen with Logan because Anderson called him out.
Yeah, man. See, Anderson's much bigger than Floyd, but you know, even Anderson's at the end. You know, I'm tired of seeing those guys go in against a bit of a unfair advantage. If you're boxing for about 2 years and those guys are pretty well built, both brothers. I think the Jake is a bit more better. Well, not a bit better, he's better. Yeah, it's easy to say, but I don't want to see them fight any more clowns. Not clowns, that was the wrong word. I don't want to see them fight guys that they really don't have much left in the tank. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't want to see them in there. I
mean, well, they're businessmen, so that's really the formula for them. You know, that's probably what they're going to continue doing. They're going to, and you know, not for nothing, people calling them out.
It's because, to be honest, man, people see that money.
Exactly.
You see that money. So yeah, if you're at the end of your rope,
go out with a bang.
Hey, yeah, man. Yeah. I see it. I understand it. I don't never knock guys for trying to get money. That's one thing.
Right.
Get paid. But if you're a prime fighter like a Canelo, there's no way he would ever do something. I don't want to see him in there with De La Hoya. I don't want to see him in there with Jake Paul. I don't want to see him in there with Hulk Hogan. I want to see him in maybe Andrade, Charlo, Plant, but I have no interest in seeing him fight any YouTubers.
Yo, you know, the fact that you say that, it makes me think of a question now that I want to ask you. With the way boxing is right now, with a lot of, you know, celebrities from whichever genre is now, you know, in a boxing match or boxing ring or whatever, getting money, do you feel like this is hurting boxing more or saving boxing more? Because I feel like it's both to some degree. You know, if you're a purist, you're probably like, I don't want to see this. But if, you know, you're a casual, you're probably like, oh, this is kind of interesting. And maybe you might start following boxing more. What do you think?
Like you said, it's got its plus and minuses. I think for the hardcore boxing fans, we could go without it, but it is a form of entertainment.
Right.
But when you got these guys, and you can't blame the fighters, but when they're getting paid, you know, 30, 20, I think Logan Paul was a $20 million purse. If you got him making $20 million and you're a world champion, chances are you don't want to take $5 million to fight another young beast. If I fight this other guy and get paid $20 million.
Yeah.
So that's where I feel like it's hurting the sport. Everyone is trying so hard to take the formula that Floyd left and remix it into a paycheck, which is cool, but it's going to leave us, the boxing fans, with a more watered down product.
Right.
How do you feel about it?
Like I said, like before I asked you, like I said, man, I feel
both ways.
You know, both ways about it, man. I feel both ways about it. Me being I guess somewhat, a YouTube guy, I'm kind of interested. It's interesting when you know the background of somebody, when what I'm saying, like where they came from, where they started, and their story like up to now. So with that, it could be interesting. Can I go without it? Like you said, yeah, probably, but it's still interesting if they have a personality, you know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to see. It is. But speaking of entertaining, what did you think of that fight Showtime, man, with Charlo? What did you think, man?
Yo, if you don't like the Charlos, you're not into boxing. If you don't like those guys, either brother, you are not a fan of boxing, man. He brought it. It was an entertaining fight.
Yeah, it was.
The reason I won't go as far as to say like fight of the year or something crazy like that. Very entertaining fight. I think what was his name? Montiel.
Yeah.
I don't think he had enough, but he didn't do enough to make it as close or dangerous as it should have been. Like the 8th, 9th round, I felt like Charlo was gassed. This guy possibly could have made it a little more dramatic and go for it.
Right.
I think he tried, but he just ain't really give it his all.
Yeah, probably about a 8 or 9 round, both guys' power started to fade. Yeah. But you can still see that Montiel, man, like his conditioning looked great. And at that moment, Charlo wasn't really looking good at all. He was looking tired. He kept leaning his head in a position where he was taking like 4 or 5 shots. Maybe the first 2 didn't bother you, but after you take 4 in a row, it's like, all right, man.
Yeah, he's
trying to move your head, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, Montiel, man, my man got a chin of vibranium. Like,
yeah.
What was that? Yo, my man survived 2 critical moments and he finished the fight pretty strong.
The funny part was I called the 6th-round knockout.
I called a knockout too.
Oh no! If you remember, that's when he wobbled him the first time. I almost lost it, and then I was in the studio with another friend. He almost lost it. He started shaking me. Yo, you called it. We going crazy. And then when the round ended, I'm like, God damn, dude took that. He took it.
Yeah.
Guy, well, if he didn't punch himself out, he gonna get him out there. And then I think he hurt him again in the 8th, somewhere around there. But man, like you said, he got a chin where he's basically been chewing on rocks his whole life. He's out of there.
Something. He has great survival skills, and I think that's because of his awkwardness.
Yeah.
He was able to get away from getting hit with every powerful shot from Charlo when he was in danger, and his awkwardness kind of saved him. So yeah, man, he got good survival skills. He got a great chin. He can probably go on to do some more things. I can see that happening for him.
Yeah. So now the question is, I still like the guy. I love him actually, Charlo. Is he ready for Canelo?
When you go by somebody's last performance, if he comes in there with that performance, I would say no.
Yeah.
And I would think that this is possibly one of his worst performance.
Man, hell no.
You don't think so? I mean, yeah, if you go by, his track record, that's what I'm going by. Entertaining, yes, absolutely entertaining, hands down, whatever. Like that was entertaining.
But how would you say that if he won legit all 12 rounds?
I'm not sure if he won every round. But what I'm saying, if he comes in there like that against Canelo, I don't see him beating him.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I see that. I definitely felt it was entertaining in the back of my mind. I was like, yo, I don't think Canelo would let you get out of there. So
absolutely. Yeah, Canelo has great accuracy. You in trouble, he has great accuracy. And his power, his power is pretty good. So yeah, I don't see him coming in with that performance and winning. He's going to have to come there really prepared.
So on the last one, I ended up missing the monster. I ended up going back and watching it this morning.
Oh,
You're gonna have to take the lead on this.
yeah, you missed a great one, man. You missed a great one, and obviously ESPN, they're gonna talk him up because that's a fighter, but it wasn't all talk, man. He really is a beast in there, man. He really is a monster. It's no joke. He has power. He's very nimble on his feet, and he attacks like when he gets you out of there. He's a great fighter already, man. He's a great fighter already, and I believe this was a 122. I can't wait to see what he does. But I think there's another belt, Rigondeaux, that he can have a unification with. He also can move up if he wants to 126. He's a really interesting fighter, and he definitely deserves to be on the pound for pound, hands down.
I remember you saying that last time. So now, with seeing that performance, are you ready to put him in the? How do you pronounce his name? Innuendo?
Inoue. That is the best way that I'm not even gonna Inoue. I'm gonna say that, and I'm hoping it's right.
It's all right. I always butcher names. I'm kind of, that's what I do. Nah. But so are you putting him now on your pound for pound list?
Currently, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He's cracked it.
Yeah. Based with that performance, absolutely. Absolutely. And when it comes to the lower weight class, sometimes, me also being one of the people that do that, I kind of don't look at them like as being on a pound for pound list when you're so low in weight.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to get noticed. You can definitely be overlooked when you're on a lower weight class.
Right now, his knockout ratio roof though, man. He's 27 years old, champ, and I'm not sure if they included this one. He's 19-0, 16 knockouts. Only 3 people been able to escape from the kid.
Yeah. Oof. Well, I mean, now he's I think that should be updated. I think he's 21 now, 21-0 with 18 knockouts. Oh. If I'm not mistaken.
Does he remind you a bit of Pacquiao?
Yeah. He absolutely does.
That mixed with hand speed and power and just electricity, that energy.
He actually, and it's funny that you said that because they actually did compare him to Pacquiao a little bit, and I can see why with his style. But I'm gonna say this, and no hate or shade on Pacquiao. He just seems like a younger Pacquiao, just more crisp, like more clean. You know what I'm saying? Like Pacquiao, not that saying that Pacquiao is sloppy. It's just you can see he's a little rough on the edges with his style. In Inoue, he just seems just sharper and just more clean. More clean.
So I'm wondering if they're in the same class, but my guy Donaire.
He can get, because I think Donaire has a fight coming up with whoever he has a fight with. I don't know, no disrespect. I just don't know. And the winner of that fight, I think Inoue would definitely, he's going to get the winner of that.
I think Rigondeaux might be a bit, that's a tough show right there. That's not an easy fight for him. That's not an easy fight for anyone.
It was an easy fight for Lomachenko, and I see hints of Lomachenko in this kid. His quickness and his speed and his nimbleness, I think he beats him decisively.
True, but you also got to forget, Loma's bigger than him.
That was true. Loma was big. This
guy isn't as big as Loma. And Loma's not I want to call him like a monster. He's not this huge guy, but he is bigger than Rigondeaux.
Right. But I think this kid has more power.
Wow.
I think this kid has power. I think that might be the difference. I think that's why I could see him stopping Rigondeaux. I could see it.
If he stops him, That's fucking impressive.
And you got to remember, Rigondeaux was up there in age. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
Cuban fighters they adjust their age. So Rigondeaux is up there in age, man.
Yeah. So you talked about Cuban fighters real quick. I'm not sure if you heard this, and I'm not sure if it's actually official. But Andy Ruiz and
Ortiz?
Yes.
Oh shit. I mean, wow.
But yeah, another YouTuber came out and said that the WBC mandated that those two fight. If it's gonna happen or not, I don't know.
Right. Because there's times
to see that one.
Right. There's times when things get mandated and it doesn't happen.
Yeah, of course.
So I would like to see that fight. I think it would be a tough fight for both opponents.
Yeah.
I want to lean towards Luis Ortiz because I just feel like he's better. Andy, though, he is not saying that he doesn't have skills, because he definitely showed that he has skills and heart in the last fight with Chris Arreola, but I don't think he would get let off the hook like that if he got in trouble with Ortiz. I don't see it happening.
Also think that that Chris is nowhere near the caliber of a fighter that Luis Ortiz is.
Right.
And it's no disrespect to Chris, Andy, or Ortiz, man. I'm not trying to disrespect any of those guys, but I kind of agree with you, man. The only thing that concerns me is Ortiz's age.
Right.
He's not very mobile on his feet. He can move.
Right.
He's not the fastest for this guy out there. And we see Andy can throw some bombs, man. Andy can hurt you.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a fun fight. That's definitely a fun one for fans. I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of leaning towards Ortiz. But if age shows up, I could see Andy getting that knockout late round. Now, there was also rumors. I don't know if you heard this one. Devin Haney, Gary Russell Jr. Supposedly, they agreed in principle. I know you told me this is bullshit. They agreed in principle. We know contracts are written on toilet paper.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
All right. So I don't want to seem like I have some beef against certain people. I just go by the history. I go by things that I see. And going by what I saw, I don't believe it until it actually happens. And that's because of Gary Russell. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I got to be honest. I got to go by what I seen, because the Haneys on their side, they always show receipts. They'll sit there and show the contract. They'll be on the phone with somebody else and they record that conversation and everything. They always have the receipts. Now, with Gary Russell, there's always a lot of talking. There's always like a lot of smooth talking. And when you do shit like that, it kind of makes me look at you like you kind of full of shit, because I'm saying what it is. Like, you know, he's always like looking at his lips like LL Cool J, trying to be all smooth while he's trying to tell a story. My man, like, you don't need to do all that. Just say what happened. And if it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. So, you know, he even told a story back then how he punched Crawford in the face, and you know, Crawford, you know, he got held back and he didn't do anything. So when he first told the story, I was just like, okay, well, you know, the way he told it, it sounded like to me like he sucker punched him. So he then says, you know what, you could ask this guy, you could ask this dude, and they was there. Maybe a day or two later, those two guys that, you know, he claimed was there said the exact same thing that I said. He said, yeah, he sucker punched him. That's what happened. He said he just had a fight. He just had a boxing match or sparring match with somebody. And then when they came out, him and Terrence Crawford was jabbing and going off at the mouth. And then out of nowhere, he sucker punched him. Like, yeah, you sucker punched him, bro. He just got out of the sparring match. And then he got mad at the dudes that he said, you could ask them, and they told the truth. I can't. I don't know, man. They were supposed to fight before. I'm sorry to get off track. They were supposed to fight before, Haney and Russell, and they sent Russell a contract. Russell gets a contract. I don't know. Then he sends them a contract, and he never sent it. It was just a lot of confusion. So I'll believe it when I see it. I believe when I see it.
Yeah. Yo, that's like the guy who was like, yo, I slept with this girl, and then the girl just says,
Yeah.
no, brother, and posts the DMs, and you like, oh.
Yeah. I can't. I don't know. Until I see it, then I'll believe it.
What had happened was, nah, that's crazy, man. So, if it does happen though, that's got to be an interesting fight, man.
Well, I mean, yeah, because Gary Russell is definitely known for his speed. Definitely not his size, but his speed.
Yeah.
He would be. I believe he's moving up one weight class.
Yeah.
I think it's one weight class to fight on, or two. Might be one or two. I can't remember what weight class Gary Russell's in. Might be 126. I don't see it. I don't think it's 130, because if it was 130, I think Shakur would be calling him out and Herring and Oscar. So I believe he'll be moving up 2 weight classes to take on Haney. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I don't think neither one of them got the power to make it a dangerous fight. I do think both of them have enough speed and talent to make it an interesting and exciting fight. I just hope we don't get a complete shit show. Or I just hope they actually fight and this ain't some bullshit like you said.
I think if it does happen, I think it actually be an entertaining fight, and I can actually see a stoppage.
For Haney?
I can see Haney stopping him. Because, there's times where people have good knockout ratios, both opponents, both boxers, and then the fight happens and nobody gets knocked out. I could see these styles meshing up Haney's and Gary, and I could see Haney getting a stoppage. I could definitely see him pushing for it like he did in the last fight. He just took on Linares, who's a pretty good size of him, a strong guy. And you got this little guy, Gary Russell, moving up a weight class or two to take you on. I could see Haney going for a stoppage. Absolutely.
And Haney definitely impressed me that last fight, man.
Yeah.
Haney looked good. Haney looked good. He ended up getting a lot of backlash. And I'm pretty sure what happened to him, criticism, not even backlash, criticism. Him, I believe Charlo may start to get it too for what just happened. And styles make fights.
Right.
Also, this is the fight game. You could outclass a guy, speed, power, everything, and still lose a fight.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the sport. Sometimes a guy's will to kill and get in your chest will overcome all your advantages. He'll be able to pull it out. So when guys don't look perfect or show flaws, I put it in my mind to compare them to other fights and go, oh, all right, maybe he drops his hand too much. He leans in too much. He's going to get caught with an uppercut, just to give me an idea of a gauge what happens. But styles make fights, man. And certain guys just have that person's number or just have that style that makes it look way tougher than what it is.
Right.
So the Linares thing, I don't even think he made it look tough. He just got caught.
Yeah, he got caught with a good shot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he got caught the end of the 10th. Other than that, he was pitching the shutout. And then the same thing with Charlo. You said you didn't have him winning every round. I thought he won the fight, not easily, but he won the fight. To me, it wasn't as worse as other people are making it seem.
Right.
So the guy made it real tough. He made it interesting. He didn't make it dangerous, though. I think one time he did wobble him a bit. And Charlo came out after the press conference and was like, nah, I was never wobbled. Nah.
Yeah, okay, sure. Well,
yeah,
you was something.
It looked like it.
You was something. You wasn't looking good, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely caught him with a little something and gave him the little Little woozy out there.
Yeah. It was definitely a great show. We spoke about just now recently, like styles make fights. Just to gander back with Haney, how do you think Haney and Lopez matches up? Now, I know I asked you this before, but there's a reason why I asked. How do you think they match up?
Man, I love Lopez, man. I love Lopez. And prior to that fight with Linares, I was leaning very heavy Lopez. Lopez stoppage. Now, after seeing the Linares fight,
yeah,
I'm actually leaning 60-40 Devin Haney. And it's because if he's in there with Lopez, he's not going to try to make it as much of a exciting fight that he did with Linares.
Right.
He's going to be way more defensive.
Yeah.
He's not going to sit in the pocket as much as he did with Linares. So I can see it being a real tough night for Lopez, man. I think if Lopez catches him, though, those noodly legs are going to show up again, and he's going to walk it out, man. Word, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning towards Haney. It hurts me to say it, but yeah, man, where you going with it?
I would go with Haney. Like you said, I feel like he would change his style. Probably be a little more defensive, try to outbox him, keep his distance. What people would call, I guess, a boring fight. So I think that's what he would do to secure the victory. But the reason why I asked is because recently the WBC president, Marcelio, whatever his name is, I don't want to chop that too much. I think I already did. But anyway, the WBC president, he had an interview, and the interviewer, man, I had my hats off to him. Like, seriously, hats off to him, because he sat there and asked him some tough questions, man. And he was just like, what is Lopez? Is he really undisputed? And to my surprise, he said yes. And the interviewer asked him right after that, he was like, well, how can that be if in the same weight class, Haney has a WBC title? If you call Lopez undisputed, isn't that devaluing the WBC belt that Haney has? And then he says, no, it doesn't. Like, what are you talking? How does it not? Either Lopez is undisputed or not. And just the fact that we have to have a conversation about it, I think that's what makes it clear. It's not, it's disputable. So
yeah,
it's crazy that the president said that. He seemed like to be very bothered when he got asked some of these tough questions, but it's questions that the fans want to know, because, you're saying before, months ago, last year, or maybe a couple of years back, that the franchise belt is just a destination. It's just, just saying that, hey, this is a great fighter. It's not a real actual belt. And then now you're saying that, yes, now it is a belt and it's transferable, and, he's the WBC champion. And also in the same weight class is another WBC champion. It's very confusing.
All right, Mauricio, I'm going to get right to it, man, because I have a lot of questions for you, being the president of the WBC. And, probably one of the hottest topics a lot of people have been trying to talk to you about is just the franchise belt in general. And what do you say to the people that may say bringing in new belts, the franchise belt, may devalue the WBC belt itself? What do you say to those people?
Well, I just say every time there's a new concept, a new rule, a new creation, there's resistance. It's human nature. We like to resist. It's a matter, give us time and you will see it is something for the good. It is intended for the good, to bring the best fights possible.
Well, I would dispute that for the simple fact that, let's be honest, Devin Haney was a mandatory to fight Lomachenko. Once Lomachenko got the franchise belt, we didn't see the fight happen. Canelo had a mandatory challenger in Jamal Charlo, and we didn't get that fight because Canelo got the franchise belt.
It's your personal opinion, and you are influencing the interview. It's good, you can have your opinion, I respect it, but you have to listen to what I'm saying. That's what the interview is all about. Now I'm going to respond what you're saying. Devin Haney, he has been in line. He has been a young fighter developing, and he has been taking the good steps forward and he's involved in the mix of the lightweight division, as I was saying. Canelo, he at no time had the thing with Charlo or with anyone. The creation is to make the best fights.
But we wanted to see that fight happen, Charlo against
so many
Canelo.
fights we all want to see. So many fights. I want to see Crawford Spence. I want to see.
Let's address the lightweight situation with, Devin Haney. I mean, he's got the WBC title.
Yes.
But we had an issue just because of the franchise belt itself. Teofimo beats Lomo, who had the franchise belt, and it does create a dispute. Therefore, you can't really say Teofimo is an undisputed champion, can you?
If you were, of course.
How so?
He defeated Lomachenko.
But isn't Devin Haney a champion as well?
It's a different structure. The WBC created the franchise designation. Teofimo Lopez is the franchise champion. Devin Haney is the WBC champion.
But that's where I bring in and present the idea that doesn't that devalue Devin Haney's title?
Not at all. Devin Haney is moving along, and he's making. And whenever he fights Lomachenko or Teofimo or Ryan, it's going to be a huge fight for him.
For sure. Well, I just wanted you to clarify. Teofimo Lopez is the undisputed champion at lightweight?
Teofimo Lopez is the undisputed. Devin Haney is the WBC champion.
Define the franchise belt. Can you define it?
The franchise is not a belt, it's not a championship, it's a designation given to elite, unique fighters who carry the industry of the sport of boxing.
I go by the eyeball test. So I don't care what the WBC, EAF, WWE says. I don't give a shit, man. I'm going by what I look at.
Yeah.
And I hope most fans do that, because just because a guy has a belt doesn't make him pound for pound the best or the undisputed.
Right.
It's just the eyes in your resume and who you went out there and beat. And it was a close decision, but he did beat Lomachenko.
Right.
Lopez beat Lomachenko, who was at least arguably 1, 2, or 3 on everyone's list. So if he beat him 1, 2, or 3, my man gotta take the #1 spot. Lopez gotta be there. So I don't care what I don't care what anyone says.
Mm.
You beat the guy, you are now the guy. That's how it works in life. So these politicians, these judges, and want to give you all types of crazy ass answers and duck and dodge, man, who cares, man? Fans look them in the face and go, nah, This is our guy.
Yeah.
Our guy. You got to beat him now. So I don't know who's ducking who, but that seems like the fight that at least I want to see. I want to see Haney. I want to see Lopez. So,
Absolutely.
interesting. So if that other fight, Russell doesn't fall through, whoa. We kind of speeding though, because Lopez still got to beat, what's his name, Kambosa?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, like I said before, he's not looking like a pushover.
Yeah, I was going to say, we kind of just totally dismissed him.
Yeah, so to get in the back, and not for nothing, if that fight would have took place the other day, it would have been a lot of things to watch. It would have been too much.
Too much. I always tell you, I hate when it's boxing and UFC, because I hate when it can be 2 networks.
Right.
It was like 5. There's no way to keep up with shit. They had the Brooklyn game going, Sorry, the guys are out of here. They lost. Time to go. But that's that Knicks hate right there. You heard? Yeah, but Brooklyn was on. Chavez got rolled in the ring in a wheelchair. It was too much, man. Had that fight taken place, I'm not sure, man. I would have lost it. And I like when too much stuff is on, because if you're watching both, you're not really watching. You know what I mean? You're not really studying what you look at. Forgot
about this, so let just again back real quick. Shout out to Gabe, man, Gabe Rosario, man, because he put out that upset and had that Holly Holmes will walk off after she beat Ronda Rousey. It was the same thing, the same walk off. Like he was like impressed by himself. He looked like a kid that just got like a good report card and couldn't wait to show his parents. Like that was the walk off. I was just like, yo, good for you, my man. Like,
So,
he put that boy down.
when you hit your first home run in baseball, you closed your eyes and swung. It was like, holy shit! I took it to the park.
Yeah,
that was exciting though, man. The only thing is, how you feel going forward? Do you want more of these events?
Yeah, but spread out. Spread it out. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like, yeah, you know, spread it out. You know, like, you know, I don't like it when it competes. You know what I'm saying? Like, put it on every other week. You know what I'm saying? Or twice a month, something.
Yeah. Well, we could even, you know, I know it's unpopular, but they could go to like Thursday night fights, Wednesday night fights, Monday night fights, or something of that nature. Wednesday.
Right.
It's too hard to really grasp everything that's going on, man. But then, you know, this is Father's Day weekend. So
yeah,
when you know, you got the name work, but we really get it in, man.
Yo, oh yeah.
I was at the studio recording all week. I was editing film, taking meetings. We're trying to grow this shit as much as possible. So we really go in, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot behind the scenes that people obviously don't see, and don't know. But yeah, we got things in the work, man, and it's gonna be real interesting. It's gonna be real interesting to see, you know what I'm saying, for the upcoming future. And I think y'all gonna be surprised.
Yeah, definitely, man. So being that it is Father's Day, man, I want to give you, I wish you a happy Father's Day, as well as all our followers. I want to
thank you
guys out there, man, especially the ones out there doing their thing, taking care. Deadbeats, you gotta step your game up, fellas.
Well, they don't. They make us look good. So
we just get 2 pair of socks as gifts on Father's Day. So yeah.
That or watch or a nice cooked meal.
Yeah, but I want to give a shout out to my dad, man. A lot of my traits and my characteristics came from him. And growing up, I don't want to go too in depth of my life, anything like that, but he ended up becoming such a great father and a great grandfather. My kids love him, you know, and me being a dad now made me appreciate him so much more in hindsight. When I was going through life, you're young, you don't really understand a lot of things. And as you get older, and you can relate this too, when you become a father, you start to remember things and remember the past and go, damn, man. So I want to give a huge shout out to my father, man. A lot of my success is owed to you and my mother, but you know, this is your day, Pop. So I want to give you a shout out. I love you, and I know your grandkids love you like crazy. So I just want to give a shout out to my father, David Silva. Just wanted to let you know I love you, Pop.
That was awesome, man. I feel it.
Tearing up.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yo, you know, pause the video, bro.
Yeah, man. You know, just a little tribute to my dad. He passed away, senior. But yeah, man, he taught me a lot of things that, you know, I know, and a lot of things that I didn't even realize until, like you said, until we get older. I don't think dads are appreciated as much as they are until, you know, the child gets older and they're like, okay, I get it now. And then that's what happened with my dad, because I remember I called him up out of random and I'm like, yo, now I understand. Now I completely understand everything. When I was younger, I used to look at you like, yo, this dude is crazy. He's out of his mind. You know, he's always upset or whatever. But now that I'm older, now it makes sense. Now I get it. I'm like, okay, I understand now. I appreciate everything you've done. You know, I didn't realize it, but now, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate it. And I'm a better man because of it. So, you know, shout out to all the fathers who actually, you know, do a good job and do the best that they can do with whatever they have, you know?
You worded that so perfectly, Work. You worded that perfectly. All the fathers, and not just the fathers, the parents in general, we're legit doing the best we can with what we have.
Right.
And a lot of times we forget what it was like to be a kid. I know I always forget. I feel like I'm damn near old man already. So I always forget. But I'm also super hard on myself. And you also have to realize you're doing the best you can possibly do. So for all the parents, not just the dads, man, you may need a pat on the back and someone to tell you, man, you're doing the best you can do. Don't compare yourself to anyone else and just keep trying. This is also me telling myself, I'm gonna watch this a couple times. Super critical. Was good, yo. That was good wording, bro.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Guys, we're gonna get out of here, guys, ladies, gentlemen, everybody, fathers, mothers, children. We're gonna get out of here. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Again, we got things working in the background that it's gonna come. I know y'all hear us say that every week, but we really are working. So
it's a process. It'll get there, though.
Yeah, it's gonna show.
Yeah, we're in the beginning stages of taking over, man.
Yeah, the takeovers.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Right now, I feel like Mr. T and Rocky, where I'm gonna just start coming at people's press conferences. Hey, fool! Nah, we taking over this podcast shit.
Oh shit.
Yo, bro, man, I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, my brother.
Later, Playboy.
Later.